Big Mike back with more on adrenal fatigue. In our last video a few days ago, I talked about ways to discover if in fact you are an adrenal body type, and because your adrenals are weak and they need to be strengthened. And I want to get into eating to help solve the adrenal thing, your adrenal fatigue. Eating for the adrenal is more protein and fats, less carbohydrates like fruits and vegetables. The extra protein is important too, that it be grass-fed beef and animal products, as well as wild-caught fish. When we have beef that's been fed with genetically modified, government-subsidized corn, then that beef is shot with a lot of antibiotics and steroids, and that wreaks havoc with our hormones. So you want to eat grass-fed or wild-caught fish as much as possible. Plus, I always recommend you add a teaspoon of flax oil or 3 flax oil pearls per day to the plan. This will supply your needed omega-3 fats. Let me give you some examples of the protein that you'll need, like in a sample day. And also the amount of protein you need really depends on your size. And if you'll click on the link that I have shown on the blog post or on the YouTube video, and you'll enter your email address, I'll send you a guide that will determine the amount of grams of protein you need daily. That would help in understanding the amount of protein that you need. But I don't want you to get hung up on the precise amount of grams. I just want you to consume what feels good and what satisfies you, because it's the macro, in other words, more protein, more fat, less carbohydrate. That's the thing that I want you to focus on. And so here's a sample of a day. And let's say you woke up for breakfast, you'd have an egg omelet with some mushrooms and raw nuts. I love nuts. And now all nuts are not equal. I had my chiropractor test me on nuts. While I'm a peanut butter-aholic, he told me no peanuts. Peanuts really wreak havoc with your ileocecal valve. So what nuts really work good for me is walnuts. He says because they're shaped like the brain, are good for your brain. And then Brazilian nuts. I don't do good with cashews. I'm allergic to almonds. And so I've given up peanuts. So a mid-afternoon snack might be some cheese and carrots. Cheese is dairy. Cheese has protein in it. And carrots, I would recommend the carrots always be steamed and cooked. Raw carrots are not as good for you as steamed carrots. Maybe lunch, you have a tuna salad and some raw nuts again. Afternoon snack, the all-star protein is maybe a hard-boiled egg. For dinner, maybe salmon, some cooked Brussels sprouts. And then evening snack, you might do some celery. Let me move forward here. Let me talk about eggs for a minute. That is like nearly the perfect food for health and weight loss. The only time that we're instructed to maybe avoid eggs is if you have a sluggish or you have no gallbladder. But eggs contain so many great things like your B1, B6, folic acid, B12. They contain key minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium, zinc, and iron. Choline and biotin, which are important for energy and stress reduction, are also found in eggs. And they are complete in all amino acids, and those are the protein building blocks. Egg yolks are nearly perfectly balanced. These essential fats are really crucial in the regulation of cholesterol. Let me talk now a little bit about exercise. There are 2 forms of exercise. One is called aerobic and the other is anaerobic. Aerobic means the production of energy with oxygen. Anaerobic is the production of energy without oxygen. So when you're going hard and you're just stressing the muscle as hard as you can, that's anaerobic because you can't get enough oxygen in. See, that's without oxygen. And aerobic is where you could do a conversation while you're still working out. One of the ways to flat tell if you're aerobic is with the use of a heart rate monitor. I highly recommend that. You can get a cheap monitor for $40. You strap you strap a chest band around your lower breast area, then you have a monitor. And so here's the test, and there's a link I have on this blog and also on the YouTube video that you can go and get the full crutch of this. So here's the basic heart rate test. You take a 180 minus your age, and then there's some adjustment factors, but I'm just going to talk about just that number. I'm 60 years old, so 180 minus 60 is 120. So aerobic exercise for me would be a heart rate at between 120 and 10 beats lower than that, 110. So in that 110 to 120 range, I am aerobic, I'm burning fat completely, and I'm not stressing my adrenal glands. When you go above that, especially when you get up in that for me, 145, 150 range, where I'm stressing, I'm not comfortable, that's anaerobic, and that really stresses your adrenal glands. Until your adrenal glands get healed, I recommend that low-grade, low-intensity exercise. If you want to burn a lot of calories, then you've got to go easy longer. Then you do that Ragland's test in the last video, determining your blood pressure and if your adrenals are weak or strong. And once your adrenals start to heal, in other words, you're putting more protein in you, which is going to help you sleep good too. That's what I have found with the extra protein, especially at night when I just consume what I call the bedtime belly buster. If you go to my blog, there's a form you can click. There again, enter your email address, and you'll get this discussion on the bedtime belly buster, which primarily is you consume a certain amount of protein at night. And see, protein is a low glycemic index, and so it slowly brings my blood pressure or blood sugars up at night, and I sleep better. So when you start putting more protein in your body and less carbohydrates, you'll start sleeping better. And sleep is the bomb when you're an adrenal type, because that's where you get all of your fat burning in. So more protein and fats, less carbohydrates and fruit. That's key number one. Key number two is lower grade exercise, lower intensity exercise until that adrenal gets healed. Once it gets healed, then you can start doing the really hard stuff, and then sleep, and obviously stay hydrated. I hope this helps. You guys be good. Take care. Bye now.